What's up everybody, this is BR, and today I want to talk about Halo and Call of Duty. Specifically, the entire debate having to do with whether or not one is better than the other. So let's take a step back in time and look at this archaic debate, for fun. And let me just start off by saying that this debate, in my personal opinion, is just completely ridiculous. Both games are completely distinct from one another, and people who used to debate this back in the day are completely wrong. The closest thing that they had in common were basically just vague terms like first-person shooter, campaign, and multiplayer. In terms of campaign, Halo has always been the epic of Master Chief, while Call of Duty was the immersive military shooter. In terms of multiplayer, Halo was the big bombastic sandbox shooter, while Call of Duty was the more compact, high-octane arena shooter. And if I was more vocal back then, I would have said that both games were Half-Life ripoffs. Eat shit. But let's say you weren't just a rabid fanboy. Let's say that you actually wanted to know what made both games distinct. What could possibly make these two games that are both first-person shooters that have a campaign and multiplayer so different? And if you're like me who's interested in game design, when you take a step back, things become a lot clearer. And let me tell you what those differences are. Now, I'm not going to explain every single thing that made the campaigns different. I could honestly sit here for hours talking about every single little thing that makes these two games different in terms of the campaign and in terms of the multiplayer. I'm only going to talk about their campaign and their most significant trait. And they're honestly the most important distinction, and once I point it out to you, you'll start noticing it. But before you do, honestly, I would say give both games a try again, or if you haven't played either one, you should definitely try it out and try to figure it for yourself. But anyways, here are the reasons why they're different. So when we look at the campaigns, we notice that Halo is a lot more gameplay heavy, while Call of Duty is a lot more script heavy. Halo CE's gameplay can be summarized to clearing out rooms of bad guys. The fun primarily came from fighting different enemies with different weapons in different environments. Halo CE did not rely on any set pieces or special events in order to entertain the player. With a higher time to kill and fictional setting, Halo had a lot more depth when it came to gameplay compared to Call of Duty. For a Call of Duty campaign, it prioritized immersion by relying heavily on scripting. Almost every single Call of Duty mission is scripted from beginning to end. And because of its military theme and grounding in reality, gunplay and enemy variety were extremely limited. And because of that, unlike Halo, you'll never see a room full of enemy bad guys to clear out, without a little bit of scripting to make things interesting. But with this heavier focus on scripting, levels could be designed to be a lot more dynamic, with special events and story beats being put into the missions themselves, potentially putting the player in a unique and fun situation that could not be done otherwise without the heavy scripting. Now, this doesn't mean that one game is better than the other simply because of their mission design. Halo's gameplay-focused design is appealing to those who don't want to be bogged down by scripting and instead just really want to focus on shooting bad guys, possibly having their skills tested by enemy variety, just like old school games. Call of Duty's scripted-focused design appeals to those who want more immersion out of their games, where the variety comes from the different situations the player can be put in, with gameplay that was coordinated, pretty much just enjoying the ride. It's also worth noting that a lot of their strengths became their weaknesses over the years. After Halo 3, Halo's gameplay was heavily scrutinized, with many claiming that Halo was taking too much inspiration from Call of Duty, while with Call of Duty people were complaining that the games were becoming way too scripted, with scripted events being diluted to nothing more than pressing the button at the right time. It's really funny how things end up, isn't it? Oh, and remember that thing that I said about Half-Life? This is the same dichotomy that Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2 underwent. Thankfully, with Halo Infinite, people are a lot more satisfied with Halo Infinite's gameplay being a lot more sandbox style. And hopefully with Modern Warfare 2 being released later this year, they can fix a lot of the issues with the campaign missions. So in conclusion, the debate was always stupid. Each game was unique in their own way, having their own appeal to their own audience. Half-Life is love, and Half-Life is life. But tell me what you think. Make sure to leave your opinion in the comment section down below. If you found this video interesting, like it if you like it, dislike it if you disliked it. If you'd like to see more content just like this, consider subscribing. And if you'd like to support this channel, Patreon is in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.